I never got past the vampire phase, so this is probably all I want. Hello everyone and welcome to another video. My name is Femke from Fame to the Fiction on Instagram and Bookish Buddies on Twitter. And today I am here with a book haul. This is going to be a giant book haul. It's probably going to feature all of the books that I got from sometime around the summer until now. So it's the book haul for the ages. There's a ton of books going to be discussed here. Well, I'm going to show them to you and probably tell you why I bought them, when I got them, something along those lines. The books in this video are mostly going to be either special editions, so something like Fairy Loot, Waterstones, Goldsboro, books I got during the Black Friday Amazon sale, and books I got for my birthday, which I celebrated in late November, even though it's like in the beginning of October, but we don't talk about that. The order of these books is going to be by author's last name, because that is how I've arranged them in my bookcases. Since we have a lot to get through, without further ado, let's get into it. The first book here is The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. This is the Fairy Loot exclusive edition. It has sprayed edges and it was signed by the author. This was the book for the October Fairy Loot box, and The Beautiful is was one of my most anticipated releases for this year, so I was really happy I was able to get an exclusive edition of this book. The next book on this list is Storm and Fury by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I've heard amazing things about many of Jennifer L. Armentrout's books, but I have to say I wasn't really interested in those books. The premise didn't really interest me, and this one really does seem interesting to me. And since it was in the Amazon sale where books were like €4 to €6-ish for hardcovers, I figured I'd give this a go. So many of the books on this list are going to be like that. Books I wanted to try out but didn't necessarily want to spend a ton of money on, I got now. The next book is Shadow and Flame by Mindy Arnett. This is the sequel to Onyx and Ivory, which we got in a Fairy Loot box. This is the sequel. I got this for my birthday. This is just really pretty and I just wanted to have it complete. So I'm genuinely not quite sure when I got this book, but I figured since I haven't posted anything in like a really long time, you haven't seen it, so I figured I'd include it. And that is Queen of Ruin by Tracy Banghart, which is the sequel to Grace and Fury, also by Tracy Banghart. This is the Fairy Loot exclusive. This is the hardcover edition of the UK edition. Many times UK editions only come out in paperback, and Fairy Loot included a exclusive hardcover edition of Grace and Fury when they included it in their box last year. And now they made an exclusive hardback of the second book to match the first one. The next book on this list is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo in the Waterstones exclusive edition. It is signed by the author and it has exclusive bonus content in the back, annotated chapter by Leigh Bardugo herself, I think. And in addition, this cover is teal, where the other one is just simply black. The next book is totally a cover by. This is Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron. The subtitle is The Last Witch Doctor. Sounds really intriguing. It looked very intriguing to me, and I'm really curious to see what this book is going to be about and whether I'll like it. Then the next book is The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black, which is the third and final installment in the Book of the Air trilogy. I have to say I'm a bit on the fence about this after the entire debacle with Holly licensing her art and the whole competition thing, but still I wanted to have this trilogy complete at least. Yeah, I know Esmay already read this and she really liked it. She liked it most, I think, of all the books in the series. I've heard a lot of mixed things about this, so I'm really not sure what I'm going to think of it. Continuing on, the next book is Two Dark Reigns by Kendara Blake, which is the third book in the, I don't even know what the series is called, the Three Dark Crowns series, let's just call it that. I've read the first two books, kind of liked them, kind of didn't. Love the covers, so I figured I'd at least want the series complete. There's another one after this, but I figured I'd first get this, and I got this in the Amazon sale as well. Then up next we have Mirror Mirror by Jen Kalonita, which is the, well, so manyth installment in the Twisted Tales series, in which Disney stories get reimagined by asking a question regarding to the plot. So this question is, what if the evil queen poisoned the prince? And then starting out from there. I already read one of the Twisted Tales. I read Reflection by Elizabeth Lim, which is about Mulan. I really loved that. This is a different author, but yeah, I don't know. I'm really curious. I also have Part of Your World by Liz Braswell, who I believe started the series, who wrote like 6 of the books, I think. I also still have to read that one, but again, like, I'm really curious for both this one and Part of Your World. Oh, and I got that one in the Amazon sale as well. Then the next book was a gift for my birthday. It was also one of my most anticipated releases for this year and for last year when it didn't come out. And that is Rage by Cora Carmack. Yeah, I really loved Roar. I loved the world. I love the magic system in Roar. And I'm really excited to see how this will continue the story. The next book I also got in the Amazon sale, and that is The Star-Touched Queen by Roshni Chokshi. Wow. I already read this book and I have to say it wasn't really what I expected. I didn't give it too many stars, but still I really love the cover and I actually do want to reread this because I think my expectations were off. So I want to reread this with expectations that are right, so to speak. The next book was another Fairloot exclusive, and that is Into the Crooked Place by Alexandra Christo. This has a different color cover. The regular one is purple and it has beautifully stenciled sprayed edges, and in addition I believe it's also signed. The next book is a Waterstones exclusive, and that is The Binding by Bridget Collins. This is the purple sprayed edged one. Back when it first came out I really wanted to get this, but then it was sold for ridiculous prices, so I didn't buy it because I don't want to spend that much money on a book. And then I saw that Waterstones had restocked the book, so that's when I immediately ordered this. The next book I got for my birthday, and that is House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. Again, heard really awesome things about this book. Couldn't tell you what it was about for the life of me, but I like going into books not knowing what to expect. The next book is one that I bought secondhand off someone, and that is the, I believe, the Shelf Love Crate exclusive edition of We Hunt the Flame, which has the original cover, the cover it was basically supposed to have before, well, they changed it. And while I really do like this cover, this is basically nostalgia, even though this book came out this year. But We Hunt the Flame has been one of my favorite books this year, so I really wanted this edition. The next book is Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. This is one I got in the Amazon sale as well. I got like 30 books in the Amazon sale, so you're going to hear me say that lots more. I've wanted to get this for a long time, but it was very expensive. And considering it was on sale now, I figured now was as good a time to get it as any. So the next book is another Waterstones exclusive. It is also one that I think I got like in the summer. But that is The Deathless Girls by Kieran Millwood Hargrave. This is, like I said, exclusive. It has sprayed edges and it is signed by the author. What I know about this book: lesbian Dracula's brides. Which, if you know me, I never got past the vampire phase, so this is probably all I want. Then the next book is The Lantern's Ember by Colleen Hook, which I also got in the Amazon sale, which was also a cover by, and Esmay told me about it, but look at the cover, look at it. The next book on this list is another Fairloot exclusive, and this was just the book of the month for November, and that is A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy. I know people have compared this to Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. Oh, also it has like really black stained edges, which I love. People have compared this to, like I said, Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. And I know it's about blood magic, which sounds really awesome. I'm kind of scared because it's so thin. Thin books have proved me wrong before, so I'm going to give this a shot and maybe I'll love it. The next book I again got in the Amazon sale, and that is The Stormcrow by Kaylin Josephson. What's really nice is that this is an exclusive first printing, which has the, well, embossing on the naked cover, which I was really pleasantly surprised to find out. Esmay has read this. She thought it was okay. She didn't love it or anything, but I think she liked it just fine, so I'm assuming I will too. The next two books on my list are The Shadow of the Fox and The Soul of the Sword by Julie Kagawa. These are the first two books in this trilogy. The third one is set to come out in March, I believe. The next book was one that I had on pre-order for a long time, and that was Dark Dawn by J. Kristoff. I already read Nevernight, but then I didn't read God's Grave because it had been just announced that Dark Dawn had been pushed back for a year. So I figured I'd not read God's Grave because I'd heard so many people, well, basically crying because it broke their hearts. And I didn't want to go through the same thing, but now I have all of them, so now I can just read them in peace. The next two books are also by J. Kristoff, and those are Lifelike and Deviate. Basically, whatever by J. Kristoff, I've really liked. And these covers are pretty, so I got them because they were on sale. The next book was another gift for my birthday, and that was The Triumphant by Leslie Livingston. Yeah, I already read the first two books. I quite like them. I think they're just quick and easy reads that don't require too much thinking. I mean, obviously it's YA, so it's nothing, in this case, I don't think it's anything really mind-blowing, but they're fun books, they're fast-paced. I really like the feelings of sisterhood in these books. I have to read this final one, so I don't know how the trilogy ends, but I quite like the first two books. The next book was another Fairyloot book, and this was the book for the September box, and that is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. This one has exclusive, like, bronze sprayed edges. I've heard nothing but great things about this. It's enemy to lovers, which is basically my trope you could wake me up for at any point. It has witches, it has witch hunters. It is pretty big. It's over 500 pages, which is very nice. Yeah, really excited for this one. The next book is Capturing the Devil by Carrie Maniscalco, which is the fourth and final installment in the Jack the Ripper series, Stalking Jack the Ripper series, I should say. My version is exclusive. I ordered it from America, and it was the basically only way internationals could get the pre-order incentive. I am currently reading this. I am about halfway through. I have to say it's a bit more romancy than I would like. I would like to see more, well, basically murder and mystery. But I have hopes that the second half will rectify that. Then the next book is another Fairyloot exclusive edition, and that is the exclusive edition of Girls of Storm and Shadow, which is the second part of the Girls of Paper and Fire trilogy. It has very lovely stained edges. Again, I haven't read Girls of Paper and Fire yet, but I'm a sucker for matching editions, so I ordered this regardless. The next book is another Fairyloot exclusive, and that was the August book, and that is The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen. I've heard mixed things about this. Mostly a complaint that it was supposed to have LGBTQ IAP plus rep, and that was only in the form of some side character basically just saying that they were gay. But again, I haven't read this, so I can't be too sure. I am curious. Okay, so we've had 2 out of 3 bookcases now. If you're still around, kudos. But let's get on. The next book I again got in the Amazon sale, and that is Seafire by Natalie C. Parker. Back when this came out, I heard amazing things about it, which is one of the reasons I got it, and then I got this. And I don't know if you can really see this, but these end pages are really, really gorgeous. The next 2 books I also got in the Amazon sale, and those are Heart of Iron and Soul of Stars by Ashley Poston. Yeah, honestly, again, cover buys. The next book I also got in the Amazon sale, and that is These Divided Shores by Sarah Roche, which is the sequel to These Rebel Waves, which we got in Fairyloot last year. Esmay read the first book. Esmay struggled through the first half and really loved the second half. I haven't read it because I'm way behind on my Fairyloot books, but hey, I always buy books way before I read them, so. The next book I also got in Amazon sale, and that was Immortal Rain by Morgan Rose, which is the 6th and final book in the Falling Kingdoms series. Now, I currently have the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th and 6th book of the series. Don't ask me why. It's super random, but hey, I am random. The next book is another Waterstones exclusive, and that is Starsight, which is a sequel to Skyward by Brendan Sanderson. This edition is signed by the author. Next up are like 4 books. There's like these books by V.E. Schwab. It's like City of Ghosts and Tunnel of Bones and Darker Shade of Magic and A Gathering of Shadows. At least, I think those were all of them. I got these books because I went to a signing of hers back in October. One of these was a birthday present, and that is this one, Darker Shade of Magic. Esmay gifted me that for my birthday. But yeah, I wanted to have my collection complete so I could have my entire collection signed. Which didn't work, because then a week after she'd been here, I got this one, which is the 2nd installment in the Steel Prince comic series. This is a bind-up of comics 5 to 8. This is currently the only book in my V.E. Schwab collection that is not signed. The next book was another one I got in the Amazon sale, and that is Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian. Heard great things, don't know what it's about. The 3rd book is set to come out soon. I'm feeling so repetitive, but I'm just shallow like that, because this was also in the sale of Amazon. And this was also a cover buy. And that is Amber and Dusk by Lara Celine. Can be really short about this. I have no clue what it was about. I know Owlcrate included this in their box a long time ago, but it was on sale and I wanted to read it, and the rest is history. So the next book is War of the Bastards by Andrew Schwartz. This was a birthday gift. This is the 3rd book in the Royal Bastards trilogy. So far I only read the 1st book, but I was really pleasantly surprised by that. The 2nd book is on my TBR for this month, but considering I've read no books and had like 15 books on my TBR, not quite sure I'm going to be able to read this. But we'll see. But still, really keen to have this one. The next book was also on sale through Amazon. And this is one of my favorite books ever. And this was basically the only edition that I didn't have yet, and that is the US hardcover edition of Muse of Nightmares. I have basically 4 complete sets and 1 separate edition. I may have a problem, but I'm not ready to admit that. We are nearly there, you guys. Only more, like 7 more books. Which the next one is The Boneless Mercies by April Genevieve Tucholke, I believe. I'm really not sure. I heard some really good things about this book. I read one of her other series. Wasn't too big of a fan. But this really intrigued me, so I figured I'd get it anyway. And it was on sale through Amazon, because what else is new? Next up we have a trilogy that I've been looking for ages to find it in the same size. And I finally got it. And that is And I Darken, Now I Rise, and Bright We Burn by Kirsten White. Again, Amazon sale, though not all of them. The first one wasn't on sale, but I figured I didn't want to miss out, so I got all 3 of them. And they're all in the same finish. They're all in the same, like, silky, matte finish, which is really awesome. I've heard great things about this series, but I haven't read it, also due to the fact that I couldn't find it in the sizes that I wanted. But now that I have them, this will definitely be a series I will be prioritizing, which means that I will probably read it in the next 10 years. The next 2 books are both by the same author, though I do believe they're unrelated. The first book is Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young, and the second one is The Girl the Sea Gave Back, also by Adrienne Young. Now, for Sky in the Deep, I've heard really, really amazing things. The Goodreads rating is also pretty high. It's basically Vikings, mythology. That just is something that I always really love in books. This Girl the Sea Gave Back, however, I've heard a lot more mixed reviews. But what is cool is that this has embossing on the cover, and it's a really, really beautiful blue color. So that makes me infinitely more excited for this book. Two unrelated books, as far as I'm aware, both by the same author, both really thin, so I suppose I could really read these quickly if I wanted to. And then the final book on this list is the Goldsboro edition of Blood Heir by Amelie Venzau, which literally came in yesterday. It has red sprayed edges, it is signed and numbered, and it's just overall gorgeous. If you're not aware, Blood Heir was supposed to have come out like in April or something, I think. But there were one or two whiny people who thought it was insulting and racist and whatever, so they decided to pull publication and revised it and then released it again. I have no idea how much of this book changed. I do think it's a shame. I can understand it from her point of view, but I still think it's a shame. Also that people can't see that this is fiction, so it doesn't necessarily reflect the author's own beliefs. So those were all of the books on this list. I have no clue how many they are. I figure that once I edit this, I will count them, so I will put it somewhere in the screen how many they are. If you've kept watching this entire video, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit subscribe below, like, and comment. But this was it for this video, and I will see you the next time. Bye!